I practice Aboriginal law and constitutional law. I work at a firm called JFK Law. It's a firm of about 14 lawyers in Vancouver, and we also have an office in Victoria. We largely represent First Nations and Aboriginal people. My particular role in the firm relates mostly to bringing claims to court on behalf of our clients who want to assert their rights in a legal proceeding. There's also an aspect of my practice that is non-Aboriginal law related. Mostly those cases involve charter claims or can be between private individuals, but mostly the commonality between them is it's just something that I feel particularly charged up about. For me, since I represent First Nations, there's a very unique practice in Aboriginal law for First Nations cases. And I think what I bring to the table is litigation background. When I first started practicing law, I knew I was really interested in the courtroom as an avenue for pursuing justice. And so when I first started practicing, I was that associate who would run around to all of my colleagues at the firm and ask if there was anything that I could do that involved getting me on my feet and in court. And I said I would do anything, even challenging their children's parking tickets, just whatever it took to get me in the courtroom. And so I spent the first sort of 6 years of my practice really trying to hone those litigation skills. And eventually I moved into a specialization of Aboriginal law. And I think what's helpful for my clients who are interested in asserting their rights in court is that background that I have. Aboriginal law practice is very team focused, and there's a lot of collaboration involved in bringing Aboriginal rights or title claims forward. I think that's actually something that's quite unique about Aboriginal law. So our teams often include our clients. They include leadership, elders, knowledge holders, community members. They include Western scientists and other experts. And our job as legal counsel, and often there's more than one or two legal counsel working on a team, is really to bring this group of experts together in order to develop a vision of the case and what it's going to look like, and then and how we're going to present it and ultimately argue it in court. When I first started practicing, as I mentioned, I was really gravitating towards people who were doing a lot of court work. One of those people was Bob Easton from our Vancouver office at Miller Thomson, and he seemed to be in court every single week. He had a very busy insurance practice. So I approached him and asked him if there was anything that I could do to be more involved in going to court with him, and he told me that, as chance would have it, one of his co-counsels was sick and wasn't able to do a 2-week jury trial with him. So he said, you're on, you can do the liability portion of that trial, and we're doing it in 2 weeks. And that was a very intense and amazing experience, but it really crystallized our relationship, and he had become since then a very important mentor to me. But his advice and where his strong, I would say, suit was is in good writing. And he used to edit my work very extensively over and over and over again, and very much in a Hemingway-like style. He believed in short sentences, short paragraphs, and rewrite. I've had the benefit of mentoring from my colleague and business partner and dear friend, Robert Janes. And Robert is part of the reason why I left Miller Thomson and joined a group of lawyers to found JFK Law and focus exclusively on Aboriginal law. Robert is one of the most brilliant lawyers that I have ever seen, ever observed. He is able to navigate very complex matters with seemingly ease, distill principles down into very simple form. And one of his, I would say, sort of most special gifts is his oral advocacy. He is something to behold in a courtroom. And what he's taught me is in preparing for court, we spend a lot of time building up our argument, and then we shift focus and we spend the rest of the time tearing it apart and interrogating it from every perspective and every angle. After the Missing Women Commission, I became very concerned about the violence against women, marginalized women, and joined an organization called WAVA, Women Against Violence Against Women, which is a feminist, anti-oppression organization that provides support to survivors of sexualized violence. And being part of that board certainly is a very humbling experience, working with a team of staff who are fiercely dedicated and committed and so hardworking to in creating safety for women in women's lives and ending violence against women. And so it's definitely deepened my experience in my practice and also just as a citizen in our community.